The newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Health Department says there is still no recommendation for the COVID-19 vaccination of children below 5 years old. DOH officer in charge, Maria Rosario Vergere, said they're currently evaluating Sinovac's application for the COVID vaccines targeting the younger pediatric age group. Vergere adds that Pfizer and Moderna may also apply soon. She assured that health workers are prepared to roll out the vaccines as soon as experts finish their review on the vaccine applications. Heads up, Meralco customers expect higher electricity bills starting this month and possibly next year. Gerald De La Peña with the details.
As if the spike in commodity prices isn't enough, it looks like consumers are in for further belt tightening. Meralco said customers will see an increase of nearly 33 centavos per kilowatt hour in their December power bills. For households consuming 200 kilowatt hours, this means additional 66 pesos in your total electricity bill. Meralco explained that it has completed its mandated refunds to customers which offset the drop in generation charges.
Itong DRTU is not actually technically created an upward adjustment dahil natapos na yung DRTU 3, no? Pero hindi siya matuturing na increase dahil sa presyo ng kuryente. Nagkataon lang talaga na natapos na, kaya tumaas yung overall rates.
However, this could just be a preview of what could be an even bigger rate hike come January. The Energy Regulatory Commission said customers consuming 200 kilowatt hours a month could see their bills go up by as much as 80 pesos. This comes on the back of the suspension of the power supply deal between Meralco and San Miguel South Premier Power Corporation. Meralco said that while rates could go up in January, it may not be that much.
Since the suspension happened in the middle of the month, so hindi naman full supply month agad yung affected. So it won't be that much. We don't expect it to be that much.
The ERC said that the Office of the Solicitor General has already asked the Court of Appeals to lift the temporary restraining order on the power supply agreement between Meralco and SPPC. In the meantime, Meralco is negotiating with two other power suppliers to fill its 670 megawatt supply deficiency. For News 5, Gerard De La Peña, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Professional electronics and gaming has become more popular over the years, but with interest of investors and advertisers waning, are we seeing an end to esports already? Let's get more details from this Bloomberg report.
Over the past few years, billions have been invested in an industry that promised to rival pro sports leagues. But now, the esports organizations who sought to pave this future face a tough reckoning. Is the dream of esports already dying? Giants of the space, Team Solomid and 100 Thieves, have terminated dozens of positions between them. Others who own teams in supposedly lucrative leagues have sold to third parties. The consultancy firm Deloitte expects only about a third of European esports teams to turn a profit this year. Money seems to be much harder to come by. The problem is that esports teams are dependent on advertising. They had hoped to fill stadiums with screaming fans and secure lucrative broadcast deals, but those have largely failed to materialize lately. About 60% of their revenue still comes from advertising and sponsorships. And when the global economy slows, ad budgets are usually the first to be cut. What's more, many of the advertisers were crypto companies who've been having their own tough time. FTX, the bankrupt crypto exchange, had pledged $210 million for Team Solomid to change its name to TSM FTX. The deal is now on hold. Finally, venture capitalist interest has cooled. Back in 2018, they invested about 3 times more in esports than this year and are less willing to cover losses. Much of the hype previously dedicated to esports is moving over to gaming influencers who live stream themselves on Twitch and YouTube. The cash crunch has left a slew of teams fighting to ensure it's not game over.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Metro Manila Council is finalizing the guidelines on the proposed single ticketing system. But until the policy is in effect, NCR mayors have agreed to suspend the confiscation of licenses. Tropical Depression Rosal continues to maintain its strength over the Philippine Sea. Rosal is seen enhancing the northeast monsoon, which could bring occasional gusts of strong winds over northern Luzon. And the NU Pep Squad takes back the UAAP cheer dance title with an aerobics-inspired routine. NU flexed their way up from a third-place finish last year, dancing to retro songs like Holding Out for a Hero and Footloose. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 10:15 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.